All right. Hello, and what is up, my fellow kids? I love that meme. Had to get this shirt. And being my day off while wearing this, I'm like, you know what? Gonna do my test video now. So, my new Bluetooth wireless mic did in fact come in the mail, so not gonna lie, this video is more or less a test run to see if I can up the quality a little bit. So, it's the middle of October, and I just wanted to kind of offer a couple of quick cents on what this holiday means to me, which is very little. Like, I'm playing to my priestly stereotypes. I love Christmas. I love Easter. There are other holidays I dearly appreciate, and Halloween is not really on that list. Uh, and yet at the same time, I don't hate it. And I certainly believe that other people have the right to enjoy this holiday for what it is. And this has been something I've had to deal with during seminary and during my 10 years as a priest, because I know plenty of guys in the seminary and in the priesthood that have absolutely hated this holiday. They hate everything there is about Halloween. One guy, I can't remember if it's October 30th or October 31st, the day of Halloween, where he would invite parishioners to come and pray with him that night for reparations done against the church on Halloween. And fine, that's his thing. There are certainly disrespectful, if not evil, things committed on Halloween. I get that. But on the other hand, my whole attitude, my entire life, has always been that when we really express our fear and distrust over this holiday, we tend to make things worse. I've brought this up every once in a while at Sunday Mass for totally different contexts. But the number one thing I remember from my high school chemistry class, leave it to a priest to learn a morality lesson for like his one thing out of chemistry class. But my chemistry teacher in high school, he had a banner all across his wall. It took up about a third of the classroom. And it was that really old, like 1970s, maybe early 1980s computer paper where you'd have to like pull off the edges of the paper that would connect to the printer. That paper. Like, I think he printed this off once in 1980, and it just stayed in his classroom for the next 20 plus years. Anyway, I will never forget it. The banner said, "The best way to make a man trustworthy is to trust him. And the surest way to make a man untrustworthy is not to trust him and to show your distrust." Very much believe in that phrase. I presume he had it in his classroom as a counter toward students being tempted to cheat. He was trusting his students to be honest in the classroom. But I have found that quote to be so applicable in other things. And for Halloween, I think it applies fairly well. When we assume the worst of people, they tend to come calling. And when we assume the best of people, it normally works out pretty well. I'm not going to say it's 100% correlation one way or another, but it's just, I don't go nuts for Halloween. I don't. It's not that big of a deal to me. If it ever was, I outgrew it around the time I outgrew my love for candy. And there are children who love this holiday fine. There are adults that love this holiday for reasons that I don't personally identify with, fine. but it's a holiday I pass on. And here's the story I kind of wanted to share. It was in seminary. So at St. Francis de Sales Seminary, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we have woods in the back of the seminary building. It's the land that we've owned for God knows how many years, and it's a very old cemetery. Like the gravestones are like written in Latin. It's old, and there is a Marian grotto, and a Marian grotto is think of it as an outdoor shrine, a little simple holy place. And during seminary, it was understood that all of us would take a shift on Halloween night, and maybe, I want to say it was definitely the first few days prior to Halloween. We may have been patrolling for a whole week before Halloween, where we would take shifts and we would protect the seminary and the grotto from vandalism and what have you. And I thought that really kind of revealed the difference in personality among the guys, because some of the seminarians, they were ready to bust any teenager that was wandering into that cemetery for whatever reason. They were kind of thought of it like warfare almost. And again, I appreciate their intentions. They were protecting something holy and sacred and unable to defend itself. So I'm not saying that what they did was bad. It was a level of aggression that I never really appreciated. And for my shift, what I did was I had a pinstripe blue blazer. Bear in mind, I couldn't wear clerics yet. I wasn't a deacon and obviously not a priest. I was still in seminary. So I had a pinstripe blue jacket, which was warm enough for that October day. That year it was not a bitter cold Halloween. And I just put on this jacket. I went, and there was a bench near the Marian grotto. And all I decided to do was sit down with my Kindle tablet, which was it was either backlit or I came with a flashlight. I don't actually remember which one. It's been so long since I've used a device like that. I prefer paper books, whenever possible. Anyway, I went and sat in front of the Marian grotto with a book, and I just prayed and enjoyed my book for however many hours my shift was. And my hair was longer that day. I'm still letting my hair grow back after my yearly shave. But me in the moonlight with dark, longer hair slicked back, which is my normal style, wearing a pinstripe blue blazer, I looked very vampire-esque. And even though I was trying to not be aggressive about it, I'm just like, hey, please don't mess with the Marian Grotto. I actually managed to scare quite a few people passing by because I looked so creepy. And I just kind of have to laugh at that. But my favorite moment for that entire night is I was sitting there, again, reading my book, minding my own business, and I hear some scrounging around in the bushes, because again, this is in the woods. And a young person, teenager, maybe a 20-something, comes up to me and like, hey man, what are you doing? You look like a vampire. And I said, oh, I'm one of the seminarians. I'm just making sure that no one defaces Mary or vandalizes her grotto or anything. And he says, oh, okay. And I said, what are you doing here? And I said, oh, it's Halloween. I'm waiting to scare my friends and all that. They're coming up the ways. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Have a great night. Good luck scaring your friends. Just don't damage the graves. And, just let me make sure that no one messes with, something as important as the Marian Grotto, and we'll get along fine. And I won't give away your position or anything like that. Like, have a great night. And he's like, and it was just the two of us. We got along fine. We both understood each other, and there didn't need to be any conflict, in spite of the fact that he was celebrating a holiday in a way that I had no interest in taking part in. So, that's my little audio test here. I wanted the camera away from me and just to see how I work on that and all that. So thanks for listening. And you know what? If you're like me or totally different from me, I hope you have a happy holiday for this coming Halloween. And bear in mind that November 1st is All Saints Day, and November 2nd, All Souls Day, aka the Day of the Dead. So, okay, fine. Us Catholics, we don't really celebrate Halloween on October 31st. But November 1st and November 2nd are both remarkably holy days with spiritual value. So enjoy your candy on October 31st. Celebrate the saints the day after. And remember and pray for your dead the day after that. And may God bless you all. Good night.